I'm here at the Hillsborough show, and I'm in the booth. What is your name, young lady?
Bex Erickson.
Bex Erickson. Would you spell all of that just so I have it?
B-E-X.
B-E-X.
E-R-I-C-K-S-O-N.
And what's the name of your business?
Vanityville.
Vanityville. And where are they located?
San Francisco.
In San Francisco, California. So you were showing me some glamour thing?
Yes. So I mentioned before that I was interested in these semi-organic plastics, and DuPont Company is the one that made most of this stuff, and they market it as hygienic, easy to clean, and glamorous. So utilitarian, but also luxury at the same time.
Now, why were they doing why were they putting emphasis on the hygienic? Was that a problem? Was there a great plague or something prior to that?
But the previous materials weren't easy to clean. So they'd get fingerprints and handprints and stain easily, and this new material was easy to wash, easy to keep clean, and it kept its looks. And you can tell from looking around here, a lot of these things are more than 100 years old, and they still pretty much look like they did when they were new.
Yeah, that's because you're a perfectionist, and you made these things look as nice as they did.
Yes, I did.
That's why they look this way. Not because it was so easy to do it, because you wanted it this way. So, what can you tell me about that item there?
So
how old would you say it is?
That one is from the late 40s, maybe early 50s, and it was when we started to move away from plastic into metal handles, and it originally would have had two little picture frames in the inside of the box. And that was a typical coming-of-age gift for a girl.
Oh, that was a coming-of-age. So when did they come of age? Around
16.
4 or 5? Oh, around 16.
Around 16.
That's when they came out.
Then the dad or the beau would buy a dresser set.
Oh, so that was it was considered an appropriate gift for a beau to give?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fantastic. Now, I'm looking around at your space here, and it looks suspiciously meticulous and perfectionistic. How long did it take you to set this booth up?
The full 2 days.
The full 2 days.
Full 2 days.
It kind of looks like that. I was just wondering, have you ever had any other experience in any other field where it was important to be rather meticulous and designy and elegant?
I am a designer. I've been a software designer for 30 years.
You were a software designer. Now, did you work for Atari or Hewlett Packard or?
I worked for Apple for many years.
Apple Computer.
Yes.
I think I've heard about them. Now, what was one of your contributions to Apple?
I worked on QuickTime.
You work in Now, what does QuickTime do?
QuickTime is a media technology that rides on top of the operating system. And in 1998, 1999, and 2000, I worked with Steve Jobs to make that.
With Steve Jobs.
With Steve
now,
Jobs.
Was he in the technology business?
You could say that.
What did he do? Because the name sounds vaguely familiar.
Well, he was the big guy who said yay or nay, and we would meet with him every week and give him lots of dye sub printouts. And
of what?
Dye sublimation.
Dye sublimation printouts.
Because he wasn't very good with a computer.
He wasn't very good with a computer. What was he not good at in the computer?
With the mouse.
Was the mouse.
The mouse
he
really
never
confused him.
See.
He came back to Apple from Next, and so everything was kind of backwards and inconvenient for him because the Macintosh operating system was different than the Next system. And then with the advent of Mac OS X, he brought a lot of the concepts from Next into the Mac.
Wait, are you saying that OS X, the one we pretty much use now, is pretty much an evolution of Next? Is that what you're saying?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of its elements from Next. Yes.
Now he just gave it to Apple, right?
Well, Apple bought it.
Oh, they bought it. Now, when they bought it, did they get anything else?
They got Steve.
They got Steve. now,
actually, Apple was shopping for a new kernel because along about Mac OS 7, we realized at Apple that there wasn't a whole lot more innovation that we could do with that software, and that the core of it needed to be refreshed. And so there were a couple of options. One was to purchase the B operating system.
Now, who is the guy associated with that? The French guy, right? Okay.
And it was really a system designed for media handling. And the other opportunity was Next. And of course, with Next you get Steve. And so they bought
So
the Next operating system.
and he became what was his title when he first came back?
He became a CEO.
No, that wasn't what he became. He was the interim CEO.
Okay, he was the interim CEO.
Remember that facade? How long that lasted?
Yeah,
For
the
a long
$1
time.
a year. You know, the $1 salary.
I think he went out at $1 a year.
Yeah.
With stock that.
Yeah, he had plenty of other compensation. I don't think he was.
So what would you say of the various things that he has done in his life was the major contribution to developing the world as we know it today?
Thinking in systems.
Thinking in systems.
Yes. That what was unique about what he was doing at the time is he was making, and I was in the QuickTime team, so that was a very media-centric team, and that was a crown jewel for Apple, but he was making deals with content developers. He was making deals in the music industry. He was making deals in movies, and he was acquiring the rights to content, and at a time when digital rights management was still up in the air and nobody knew what they were going to do, he put his foot down and said, this is what we're going to do. I don't have to agree with everybody else. I'm just going to do it this way. And
Wow.
he was right.
Oh my God.